and welcome back to my channel. This, you may be wondering, what is this? Is this a new setup or something? Well, basically, my phone desperately needs charge and I really need to charge my phone. But I also want to shoot this video. And actually, I kind of like this. It's slightly different. At some point there will be stuff up on the board. There currently isn't. I just dropped out actually my chemistry. You can see all my random stuff. Like, I've got quite a lot of books. In that top row I've literally got 2 rows of books like in front of each other, because I have nowhere else to put them. I mean, I could probably put them there, but I keep too much there, so we'll just ignore that. So I was asked, and I haven't looked up who asked me this, so sorry, but whoever you are who asked me this is why I'm doing this video. I scripted this just for you. So it is how to memorize your notes once you've made them. So before I get into how to memorize your notes, once you've made them, I want to backtrack just a little bit to while making your notes. So the reason I write notes is because I want to get the information into my head, and I feel like writing notes helps me, like just writing the information out helps me to get it stuck in my head. Apparently you learn 7 times better by writing than you do by reading. So by writing out the information, you're getting it more stuck into your head. So step 1 for writing notes, there's how many steps are there? There's 5 steps in this video, so this will be number 1. Write as much information as you can in as few words. As you're making your notes, you don't want your notes to go on for pages and pages of nothingness. Like whenever I'm making my notes from a mixture of the textbook and my class books, I will condense and condense. If there's something I know extremely well, or is unnecessary, like those wordy bits, leave it out. Don't bother putting it in, just leave it out completely. And at this stage, you should make sure that you fully understand everything. So for example, if you're making your notes and you come across something that you're like, not entirely sure what that is, not entirely sure if I understand this, now is the time to understand it. Stop writing your notes and go and do something about that. Try to understand it, and if you can understand it at this point when making your notes, rather than trying to understand it later, you will then obviously know it later. You'll have had that understanding at some point. Yeah, got my hair cut again and I really don't like it. Well, it's not bad, but it's like I don't know how do you do anything with it. Anyway, if you understand it while making your notes, when you come back to it later, you're going to understand it again. You're more likely to understand it again. So don't understand it, go watch a YouTube video, literally one of the best things, or read a different book, read the textbook, read the revision guide. Sometimes one of them is better than the other for explanations. So yeah, make sure you fully understand your notes when you're making them, and make sure you write them in as much detail, in as little words as physically possible. This will just really help as you go to the next stages. So number 2, this is create mnemonics. And nobody knows how to pronounce that. Why is it an MN? Like, who decided that? Mnemonics? Mnemonics? Like, I mean, silent M, mnemonics, that makes sense, or silent N, mnemonics, I don't know. But memory aids for I can't even talk now. So make mnemonics, or memory aids for remembering your information. So this helps you to, 1, making the mnemonic gets into your head. You have to think about something to get it into your head, and also it's going to be stuck in your head. Like, that's the point. I like to learn chains of information. So for example, for GCSE and A-level, this is the mechanism of inspiration and expiration, in other words, breathing. You remember, so you start with the intercostal rib muscles, they contract and the chest moves up and out. So you do the action, the chest moves up and out, and then you say, because it moves up and out, and the diaphragm, when we like this, it flattens. So up and out, diaphragm flattens. Then, because of all this stuff, the volume in the lungs increases. So you've gone diaphragm flattened, volume increases, the pressure decreases, which means the air is sucked in. And that's kind of my thing. So intercostal rib muscles contract, up and out, diaphragm contracts and flattens, volume increases, pressure decreases, inspiration, air goes in. And then for expiration, it's the opposite. So intercostal rib muscles relax, and then the chest moves in and down, diaphragm goes dome-shaped, or relaxes, volume decreases, air pressure increases, air goes out. So that is Like you just kind of learn that. So that is, it could be a 4-mark question. Sometimes I'd learn a 6-mark question off by heart. And then if 4-mark question on that, or it even comes up in an essay or smaller questions, you've got that information stuck in your head. But come up with ways of remembering things from your notes. So number 3. I said before that reading your notes is like only 1/7 as good as writing them. However, highlighting I think is slightly different. So obviously with highlighting, you're reading them. You want to read very carefully through your notes. Highlight the most important parts. Highlight as little as possible. Don't highlight everything, because I would do that. But highlight as little as possible. So you've made your notes, which are condensed in only the important things in the least amount of words physically possible. So that's condensed. Then you're using your highlighter to highlight the most important parts of the stuff you've already condensed. So it's like the most condensed is that thing that you're going to try and learn. And as you read over everything and highlight the important parts, you have to think about what's more important. You have to think about what you really need to know, which gets it further into your head. And like using just using these, bring them all together, your notes are starting to get stuck in that brain. And the more time you spend with them, the more things you do with them, the more it's going to get stuck in your head. So number 4, we have annotating your own notes. I did this a lot at GCSE. This is kind of like the last bit before you go, like say you've made all your notes and you want to go over all your notes again. This is kind of the last thing I'd do. It is adding extra things, like if you're reading the textbook and you go, oh, I haven't added that to my notes, add a wee annotation, draw a couple of wee small, like very small diagrams. I have some good ones from my RE GCSE where I would like wrote a couple of things, or like remembering stuff, like weird things, remember stuff that only I would understand, and just flick through, how we draw here, draw a wee graph that mimics information that you maybe forgot to add, etc, etc. And this one means you've gone over everything again, you've had to think about what to annotate, so you're thinking about the subject, thinking about what you're trying to learn, it's going into your head more. It also increases your understanding because you've read over your notes, you've thought of ways to remember stuff. It's a bit like the mnemonics, a bit like the mnemonics and memory aids, except you're doing smaller ones, so it's like annotating your notes as you go along, so that is very useful, I believe. And finally, number 5, recite and quiz yourself on your own notes. Your own notes are basically your best tool. They're obviously in this condensed form that you're going to be looking at, so quiz yourself on it. If you've got, for example, a paragraph about something, try and look at it, read it, close your eyes, say it back to yourself, turn around, walk around the room, say it. If you've got 5 bullet points under heading, say the heading and try and recite the 5 bullet points. Even try writing down the 5 bullet points. I have a whiteboard for a reason. I have 2 whiteboards, as you know, and I did have chemistry stuff on this one. I currently don't have anything, but there will be at some point. I might record here more often. I kind of like this atmosphere. There's like light coming straight from there. There's also light coming from there. I could make there be light coming from here if I really wanted to. But yeah, recite yourself, quiz yourself. I did this with history all the time. I would use my notes to make summary things and then learn that, or I would have my list of 5 bullet points, for example, like things Hitler did concerning women or something, and then you'd be like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and if you could recite those 5, then obviously you're going to want to be able to expand on it and then expand on that to create your essays. And that is how I did my notes, and that is why I still do my notes. So that is all I've got time for today. The video is about to hit 9 minutes. Yeah, if you enjoyed, hit the thumbs up button and subscribe down below, hit the notification bell, a ding, and you'll be notified every time I post a new video, which is Mondays and Fridays at 4:30 p.m. Also some other random times throughout the week if I want to. You never know, but usually Monday and Friday are my 2 scheduled upload days. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all again next time. Bye.